It's Monday morning. Your alarm goes off at 7 a.m., just like it always does. But today, something is different. You reach for your phone, and the first notification reads, "Your position has been permanently filled by an automated system. Your services are no longer required." You think it's a mistake. You call your office. No one picks up, because there is no one left to pick up. You turn on the news. Every channel is saying the same thing. Artificial intelligence has officially replaced every human job on the planet. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers, drivers, chefs, artists, bankers, all of them gone overnight. This is not science fiction. This is the question that the most powerful people in the world are asking right now, and the answer might terrify you. Just days ago, Mustafa Suleyman, the CEO of Microsoft AI, made a chilling statement. He said that artificial intelligence will have human-level performance on most, if not all, professional tasks within 12 to 18 months. Not decades, not years, months. He's not alone. Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, warned that AI could wipe out 50% of all entry-level white-collar jobs and push unemployment to 10 to 20% within 5 years. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, revealed that his group chat with other tech CEOs has a betting pool for when the first billion-dollar company will be run by just one single person, with AI doing everything else. And the numbers are already moving. In 2025 alone, 55,000 workers in the United States were laid off because of AI. In just the first 6 weeks of 2026, over 30,000 tech workers lost their jobs. The International Monetary Fund says that 40% of all jobs on Earth are exposed to artificial intelligence. So the question is no longer, will AI take our jobs? The question is, what happens to the world when it does? Let's imagine it happens, not gradually, not over decades, but all at once. Every job replaced by AI. What would the first week look like? Day 1, chaos. 8 billion people wake up with nowhere to go. No office, no factory, no school to teach at, no hospital to work in. For the first time in human history, not a single person on Earth has a job. At first, some people celebrate. No more alarm clocks, no more traffic, no more boring meetings. Social media explodes with memes and jokes. Finally free, they say. But the celebration doesn't last long. By day 3, reality sets in. If nobody is working, nobody is earning money. And if nobody is earning money, nobody is spending it. The grocery stores are still stocked because AI runs the supply chain now, but your bank account isn't getting any deposits. Your rent is still due, your mortgage hasn't disappeared, the bills keep coming, but the paychecks have stopped. By day 5, panic begins. People flood the banks trying to withdraw their savings, but what are savings worth in a world where no one can earn more? The stock market doesn't crash, it evaporates. Trillions of dollars of value, built on the assumption that humans would always work, simply vanish. By the end of the first week, the world realizes something terrifying. Our entire civilization was built on one simple idea, that people exchange their time and labor for money, and that idea just died. The first month is brutal. Without wages, consumer spending collapses, and when spending collapses, businesses, even AI-run businesses, have no customers. It's a paradox that economists have warned about for years. AI can produce everything, but if humans have no money, there's no one to buy anything. Loan defaults cascade through the banking system like dominoes. Mortgages, car payments, student loans, credit cards. The entire financial system was designed for a world where people earn income. Remove that income, and the system doesn't just stumble, it collapses. Governments face an impossible choice: print money and risk hyperinflation, or let millions of people lose their homes, their savings, and their dignity. The psychological toll is even worse. Studies have consistently shown that unemployment is one of the strongest predictors of depression, anxiety, and suicide. Now multiply that by 8 billion. Humans don't just work for money, they work for purpose, for identity, for the feeling that we matter. Take that away, and you don't just create an economic crisis, you create an existential one. Within 30 days, the streets of every major city look different, not because of destruction, but because of emptiness. The offices are dark, the highways are quiet, the world is running perfectly, and nobody knows what to do with themselves. Now, here's where the future splits into two possible paths, and which one we take depends entirely on the choices we make before this moment arrives. Path A is the dark scenario. In this version, governments were not prepared. There is no safety net, no universal basic income, no plan for what happens when work disappears. The rich, the people who own the AI companies, become unimaginably wealthy. Their systems produce everything: food, energy, transportation, entertainment. They need nothing from anyone. But everyone else, they become irrelevant. Not just unemployed, irrelevant. There is nothing they can offer that a machine can't do better, faster, and cheaper. A new class system emerges, not based on education or talent or hard work, based purely on one thing: whether you own the machines or you don't. The top 0.1% controls the AI. The other 99.9% depends on their mercy. Social unrest erupts, not in one country, everywhere. Because this isn't a local crisis, it's a global one. Every nation, every culture, every economy is hit at the same time. There's no country to flee to, no industry to pivot into. The anger has nowhere to go except into the streets. Governments try to maintain order, but how do you police a population that has nothing to lose? How do you tell 8 billion people to stay calm when everything they were promised, work hard, get ahead, build a future, turns out to be a lie? This is the path that keeps economists up at night, not because it's impossible, but because it's the default. This is what happens if we do nothing. But there is another path, and it's not a fantasy. Path B begins with a radical but simple idea. If machines are doing all the work, then machines should be paying the taxes. In this version, governments saw this coming. They prepared. They implemented what economists call a universal basic income, a monthly payment to every citizen, funded not by human labor, but by taxing the corporations whose AI systems now generate all the wealth. Think about it. If AI can run entire industries with 0 human workers, the profits are astronomical. A fraction of those profits, redistributed, could give every person on Earth enough to live with dignity, not luxury, but food, shelter, healthcare, and freedom. And here's what's fascinating. When researchers have tested universal basic income in small experiments around the world, the results surprised everyone. People didn't become lazy. They didn't sit around doing nothing. They started businesses. They made art. They volunteered. They spent more time with their families. They pursued education, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. In Path B, humanity enters a new era. The end of forced labor ends. For the first time in 10,000 years, since the invention of agriculture chained us to the fields, humans are free to choose how they spend their time. Some become artists, some become philosophers, some explore science for the pure joy of discovery, not for a paycheck. Communities grow stronger because people actually have time for each other. Mental health improves because the constant stress of survival finally lifts. The economy transforms from one based on labor to one based on creativity, meaning, and human connection, the things that machines cannot replicate, the things that make us, us. It sounds utopian, but every major leap in human civilization sounded utopian before it happened. The end of slavery, universal education, democracy itself. Someone, somewhere said that's impossible right before it became inevitable. But even in the best-case scenario, humanity faces a crisis that no amount of money can solve, an identity crisis. For thousands of years, the first question we ask a stranger is, "What do you do?" Our jobs define us: a doctor, a teacher, a builder, an artist. Remove that, and who are we? This is the question that philosophers have debated for centuries, but it was always theoretical. Now, for the first time, it might become real. Some people will thrive, the ones who always had passions beyond their paychecks, the painters who worked in accounting, the musicians who drove delivery trucks, the writers who sat in cubicles dreaming of stories. For them, this is liberation. But for others, they will struggle deeply. The people whose entire identity was wrapped up in their career, the surgeon who spent 15 years in training, the lawyer who sacrificed everything to make partner, the factory worker who took pride in building things with their hands. For them, a world without work isn't freedom, it's an abyss.